Well, y'all, as they say, all good things must eventually come to an end. And here on Car Rant, we're starting off the year by saying goodbye to the Outlander. What's up, everybody? How's it going? My name is Nick Lanza, and if you're new around here, this is Car Rant. We do builds, we do reviews, and we have candid conversations about cars. So if anything like that sounds interesting to you, please hit the sub button, ring that bell, and let's talk about what's happening today. So I have owned the Outlander since June of 2023. I love this car. It's comfortable, it's clean, it's nice. It's done fantastic for my job, for me moving, for doing stuff long distance. It's been a phenomenal car. Again, as much as I like the thing and as practical as it was, if I need something to work in the snow or dirt, I'll just drive my Pajero. This thing is an absolute tank, a unit, and I don't really need another SUV because this thing just ticks all those boxes for me. In fact, the only time that the Outlander really outshines this Pajero is in long distance driving. And again, you guys know my Mighty Max, which has now been on the channel for a year, is needing a lot of work. I still drive it, I still use it to take out trash and stuff like that, but I need to put a lot more work into it. And pretty soon, it's probably gonna end up sitting directly next to me here in this garage so that we can take the engine out, rebuild that undercarriage entirely, and possibly prep it for a full-blown engine swap. More on that in a different video. So what does that mean for me? It means I need to let go of this Outlander and save myself a bunch of money. All right, it's me and the John boy. We are officially saying goodbye to the Outlander today. It's just, I love this thing. John and I, we were talking about it, and we talked before this, but it's time to say goodbye. What are your thoughts on it? You never did tell me what you thought of this thing.
Outlander?
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, it's a nice daily, especially for the cars you also have. You know, it's something that's a little bit more modern. It's a lot more just, it has modern amenities. It has, you know, heated seats and stuff like that, and it has climate, unlike your Pajero at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it has modern amenities, which is really nice. But I think you have some other options that are out there that are gonna be a little bit, you know.
Here's hoping that what I'm trying to trade this for actually turns out to be worth every penny that we hope it's worth. We once over the car. We've now gone through and made sure that everything is out of this that's mine, other than obviously stuff we need to take to the dealer. And yeah, it's time to go to CarMax and see if we actually get what we need out of this in order to fully pay it off and get a solid down payment for what we're trying to get next. And just like that, Outlander's gone. We're officially done with the new Mitsubishi. It sucks because I really did enjoy that thing a lot, but there's just no way to say it other than it had to go. Like, life was not in my favor with that car. Agree?
Yeah.
Like, I went over the financials of that thing with him, and he was like, dude, you were getting raked. And I was like,
pretty much.
No, I'm very aware. But unfortunately, the car we were gonna go see was at a different lot in an entirely different part of the state. So we walked around the CarMax lot. We did take a look at a model of the car that we are looking at, and the difference in like niceties between one and the other. You even agreed. The $20,000 version of the $6,000 car I was trying to buy is in way better shape.
Way better shape.
Also had 130,000 miles less. So yeah, that probably plays a part in it. I guess for right now, we can easily just sit there and say, the saga continues. So I try to replace my daily with a daily, with a daily, with a daily. And in case the world forgot, the Pajero was the daily, right? And then things happened to it. And then I got the Mighty Max, and that was the daily, and now things happen to it. Well, now the Outlander, which is where the tree is currently blocking what it used to be there, we don't have it at all, so now we need to replace it. So yeah, the daily train continues. I mean, it would be a return to form to get back into another Lancer.
If I could, with Mitsubishi,
if I could find another OZ from back in the day that was like in good shape and had low miles again, I might do it. We'll see. And in our rush to get things taken care of, we forgot a single of the Outlander floor mats, so yeah. I guess I've now got like a really nice carpet for the office.
You got that's part of the Outlander that's with you. That's all it is.
Yeah, there you go. But as always, we're keeping pieces of cars we no longer have. Well, y'all, here I am after the CarMax experience and several dealerships later, and I'm a little disappointed. My plan was to buy a Volvo. I've always liked them. I thought they were good looking. I actually learned how to drive in one and took my driver's test in one. And I guess wanted to re-encapsulate that lightning in a bottle experience that I had with the cars, because the ones that I drove were just fantastic. I had driven in an S40 and I had test drove an S60 and was actually considering looking at a V70 and an S80. If you know anything about those cars, are all really nice. Most of them were T5s. The S80 was actually a T6. I was really hoping to have gone home with one of these cars because I really liked them. I drove the S60 and had fallen in love. But unfortunately, a lot of the dealers I talked to were just either not forthcoming or shady. One of them we actually considered taking to court because none of their disclosures about the car said anything about a check engine light until we had gotten there. And then they tried to more or less BS their way through, saying, oh, well, all these cars could potentially have check engine lights because of the mileage. And I kind of sat there and was like, buddy, I've owned 11 cars and none of them had check engine lights, which means that you were trying to sneak a lemon by and got caught, and you're trying to drop the price enough so that someone would just buy the car as it sat, because by the time we had gotten to the stage of like actually trying to see about getting financing for it, they had inadvertently raised the price another $1,000. I'm now stuck with just the Pajero and the Mighty Max. And frankly, now that the learning ECU is starting to learn even more, I'm gonna live with the Pajero. Ironically, why I went and got another head unit, because the one that was in the Pajero was actually the Evo's original head unit. It went from the Lancer to the Evo and has floated around some of my other cars. It's now in my Mighty Max, and I wanted a doubled in for the Pajero. So this is just a $170 Pioneer unit. We're gonna go ahead and solder this guy up and try and get the heat in the Pajero fixed. That way we can finally go back to having some heat in the car. Just going over all of the electrical that's in the Pajero, it looks like we just need some basic figuring out where the power is not cutting to the heating system. And once we get that figured out, we'll be good to go. I already know that the radio is gonna work. I just gotta replace the fuse and we should be golden there. So yeah, 2021 all over again, where my daily driver is right-hand drive and an absolute beast. Well, with that said, I'm gonna get this thing put together and we will see you guys on the next episode. God bless y'all and peace.
Can't go wrong with like a Civic or a Camry, you know, like I
Could you imagine the backlash though? If I got another Civic?
in terms of, you know, in terms of reliability, I guess, but I mean,